which is actually one of my least favorite levels in this game, purely because it has a part where the level will go completely dark. Basically, you'll get the occasional brief moment of lightning, but it's annoying to deal with, trying to do platforming in the dark, essentially. The frogs take 2 hits, but they can also be electrified, which is a pain in the ass to deal with, but it could be worse. Just gonna dig up here. I believe you can actually attack the, yeah, you can attack the, what do you call them, the gravestones. The ghosts you can't jump off, but you can get rid of for a brief, well, immobilize, I should say, for a brief moment of time. I believe this is a bomb. Yes, it is. So I'm going to move that there and get away from it. So I don't want to deal with that. Just make sure I can uncover this. Again, I'm not going to go for all the gold, especially in this level. But I'll do what I can. I do need to get some more gold, obviously. And the farther on you get in the game, the more normal it is for you to come across like rare drops and stuff like that. So get a little bit of gold from going down there. Let's deal with that. Don't think you get anything from attacking the grave, which would oh, I didn't know that was there. Which does make a fair bit of sense. I'm gonna just get rid of all 3 just in case there is something here. Unfortunately, there's not. I kinda just want to kill that guy. Oh, he's gonna go all that way. Never mind. Got my health, got my magic back anyway. These guys you can actually pretty much just get through, but I'm actually gonna fight them just because I want whatever he's gonna have. And I'm on top of him, I can actually deal with him a lot easier. I actually get a decent amount of gold there as well, so definitely worth it. But you can just take the hit and bypass them without any real difficulties, so... those guys. Alright, got that. You can see where the platform's going to rotate left and right as well, so you don't have to fuck around with that. The thing in the background on the wall. And we have our first part of that whole thing that I mentioned earlier. This is where I'm glad I actually have some sub-weapons now. Again, the lightning will occasionally flash and it will give you the path you're supposed to go. Which is helpful, but it's definitely be more helpful if they didn't put this fucking gimmick into the level that I really don't like. I'm not gonna bother with that those jewels up there because it's too risky. It's basically just a bomb in there, so don't bother with it. Extra area here. You don't have to go down here, obviously. But there is some gold, as you can tell. Do like the music in this level, though. Very good music. This is a bit of a tricky one, because you need to hit that twice and then bounce off. Unfortunately, I didn't do it that time. There we go, got it the second time. Unfortunately, it does here. Oh, fuck, I fell off the edge. Again, I couldn't see what I was doing, so... That's what happens when you go for things like that. You take the risk. I think I still keep the note, but I don't think I keep anything else. Which is a shame. It's part of the reason I actually didn't dig this up, because I wanted to at least save something. But I did just lose a decent amount of gold from trying that. Oh well. These platforms here, they'll start sinking as soon as you and that guy are both on the thing at the same time. Or at least its head, you can tell. You basically gotta do some slight puzzles with nothing major, nothing that's going to be too head scratchy. You can actually raise them up though if you're both on and then you jump off. Okay, that's no good. Okay, I really need you to die now, my friend. Okay, apparently Sinister's online and I can't see the fucking screen until his thing goes. Thank you. I literally can't get any further this way. These are the ones that electrify, by the way, and they are a pain in the ass to deal with. Thankfully, nothing too outrageous. I'm curious if there's a hidden thingy up there. No, there's not. I need to basically lure this one over here so that I can lower this platform. Let me get rid of that, see if there's anything inside. Yes, there was. Alright, I need to go this way because there's another item, or a sub-weapon, and it's actually a very useful one, and one I will be using throughout the majority of the game. And he's basically saying the same thing he was earlier, so there's no real reason to do it. You get the phase lock, escape from all harm briefly. This doesn't work for bottomless pits, but it will even protect you from spikes. So this one is definitely a must-have. Basically, you'll turn this for a brief moment, and we're talking brief, you're talking like 2 seconds, if not less. As you can see, it makes light work of getting around when there's a bunch of enemies like that, so... this is definitely a mandatory one in order to beat this game, in my opinion. I actually think you can't beat the game without it. If I remember. The turkey, chicken, whatever the hell it's supposed to be. It looks pretty tasty, but I'm not sure what it actually is. Another checkpoint? Alright. Let's get rid of him. I want to bring this over here so I can get across here. So I can get into here. Another music note, and I was right, apparently you can find those. Obviously they're worth a lot more than the minimal gems you can get, which I've already mentioned. I think is the pink ones at 200 or 250, whatever it is. I want what's ever dug in here. Always worth it to attack things like that, just in case there are gems. Oh, but we have a thing here. Oh, it requires 6 fucking magic in order to fish, really? There we go. Ooh, worth it, 350. Right, I've never figured out how I'm supposed to get to that point up there. Unless... Oh, yes, this is how you do it. Am I stuck? No, I'm not stuck. I can go back. That's the first time I've got up there. I never actually thought to just jump on top of there. I didn't think it would work for some reason. Well, I tried it out, though. Alright, don't be fooled by that thing there, that green thing. That's just for those gems. You actually need to go down here, believe it or not. As I said, the orbs are actually pretty useful, especially in enclosed environments like this, where you can make decent use of them. They're actually quite powerful. Hitting multiple times is always good for getting rid of them faster, so make sure you pick up that checkpoint. I have missed it, and we are actually nearly at the end of the level now, so... Fortunately, it was electrified. Not really a whole lot I could do there. Right, I would actually recommend getting out the, what do you call it, the invincibility thing here, just because it will make things a little bit easier for you to deal with. Alright, this jump is actually fairly difficult because you've got to get on that platform up there, and unfortunately it doesn't always make it easy for you to see where you're going with it. Alright, I managed to get through there without losing any gold. But I do get a refill of everything right here before the checkpoint, and that will always respawn if I do, for some reason, die against the boss here. Which, by the way, we're at the boss. This is no place for the living mortal. You shall be summoned when it is your time. And everyone has a time, as we saw with your beloved Shield Knight. Lies! I won't believe such talk from phantoms. Your very existence is a vile deception. The Enchantress is just full of surprises. She granted me new life, so that I may take yours. This boss is actually pretty easy, but he has some pretty fucking damaging attacks. He will start summoning a bunch of mooks as well soon, so be careful of that. Alright, you can tell I have not... I'm doing surprisingly well with these bosses. I usually do a lot worse than this. You can't attack him as far as I know with that attack because... oh, fuck, by the way, these are the mooks. You do get, occasionally do get a very small vial you can use to refill your health, but that doesn't show up very often, so be very thingy with it. And I don't have enough magic left now, so I can't do any more attacks, but he's going to go down with one more hit regardless, so... And I'm still pretty healthy, so there we go, boss beaten. The mook is still on stage. I think he just fucked off. Yeah, he does. But that actually went better than I expected. Pretty awesome, actually. You can see the chest there. I believe it's a meal ticket in that, but I'm not 100% sure. I think we've got one of those catch the Shield Knight dreams coming up, which means we can actually get a little bit of gold here as well, which is actually a good thing. Yeah, we have, so... let's go to town on the enemies. Right, I'm getting the thing ready here. Always make sure you're in the center, but everything else... Yeah, I wouldn't actually recommend going for anything else if you want to catch her, essentially. Right, I caught her just in time. Super Sphere. I've never got another achievement I haven't gotten yet, but it doesn't matter because I actually did catch her. I don't know if it affects the enemy. I think it does, but I couldn't say for certain. We get the meal ticket, so I can use that to upgrade my health without having to pay out an inordinate amount of gold. And it actually opens the path to the next couple of stages, which I'll be doing later on. Oh, we have a gem thing here. I'm actually going to go for this. Gold is always good. And this is actually a auto side-scroller level. There's actually not that many in the game, as far as I've seen. Again, I'm just going for this stuff early so I don't have to go for it later on. When I get to like the second half of the game, I won't be going for these extra stages. I might do them off screen just for the gold and stuff, but I won't be bothering in real time just because it takes a while to do this stuff, so right, go for those. I wasted my time there, but never mind. That's actually near the end of the stage as well, believe it or not. Thankfully it doesn't go any further than that, so always worth it, like I said. But that's the end of that stage as well. Back to the town. Did I get any more music sheets? Oh yeah, I got another 2, so that's another 1,000 right there. Dead Crowd Night says I, lesson learned, never crack jokes in the graveyard, never ever. Now that I have this music sheet, I can perform it for you anytime, just ask. Yes, yes. I don't know why I do that every time it comes up. I'm gonna use that meal ticket now. I don't have to say it every time, because he says the same thing every time. He does cook something different though. I think most times. Let's see what we get this time. No, it looks like some kind of vegetable. And I think I've already gotten that one once before. I'm going to head down. I think I need to speak to this guy, the trope acolyte. Hello, fish friend. All hail the trope king? Bye. Alright, so I can get these two here. You can use these to fill up basically magic, invincibility potions, and health and magic regen. Get both if you want an easier time. It's only 3,000 overall. You may as well. You do have to go visit the fish itself, but that won't actually take us very long. In fact, that'll probably be the last thing I do today. Let's speak to the woman with our finger here. We actually do have enough for that, but I've got enough for that meal ticket. And to be honest, I'd rather have the health at the moment. F 50 magic's not bad for now, so I'm not too fussed about that. Ooh, that looked like a piece of steak. Actually looked pretty nice. Alright, we've got 8 units of health, that's actually quite a lot. Especially for this early on in the game. There is another store in, well, there's another town with music and stuff. I won't get anything for that, by the way. There's another store in one of the other towns, so there is other things to buy. But if we come here, let's speak to the fish. He actually has a pretty long cutscene. Hey, who has awoken? 1 second, I need to sneeze. Who has awoken me, mortal? Dost thou need aid? Aid me. I sense a triple chalice. I can fill it with magic ichor. That's pronounced ichor. The game knew I was going to fuck that up. Choose your ichor wisely. Right, you have Ichor of Renewal, which refills all health and magic. Ichor of Boldness become invincible for 10 seconds. And Ichor of Fortune, absorb treasure nearby for 60 seconds. Not worth it. Sort of worth it. Absolutely worth it. Fill your magic and health. Yes, this is not essential, but it's really good for bosses. And essentially the boss rush towards the end. What of your second chalice? Oh, I'm going to get both of them, Phil, apparently. I thought I already get one, but I'm going to use both of them on that. You can use the same one twice, so it doesn't really matter. Subjects, a new initiate joins us. The ceremony shall commence. And I kind of fucking love this dance, even though it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Slap those little fins! And yeah, it's supposed to be a half. It's supposed to be a fish with apple properties. I don't mean Apple the product, as in the fucking expensive and not particularly worth it electronic devices. Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure I just pissed somebody off by saying that. And yeah, this is a pretty long dance he's doing here. It's kind of cool though overall. There's the first one, and there's the second one. Very well, Shovel Knight, return if thou hast need of my aid again. And there we go. Alright, we've done everything we can here. I'm actually tempted to just do this one, the Forest of Phasing, and then finish off. Alright, the Forest of Phasing, if I remember. Yikes, spikes. If only I could phase away to safety, I could cross and get so much treasure. Right, this is I'm doing this basically to show off what I was talking about earlier. Get here, use your phasing. As you can see, I can now walk on spikes. Obviously, that thing only lasts a small amount of time though, so don't fuck around. Oh, and guys, I think you've already seen. Yes, you can use it when you're in the You can use it when you're in the air as well, so you're doubly safe actually. And you can also do it to phase through enemies, which is really nice. Well, that was lucky. For some reason it wasn't registering, I was hitting it twice. Oh, and that is why you want to be careful. God damn it. Still, I'm coming here with more gold than I had, so I'm not too fussed. Thankfully, it does refill your thing every time you die, so it's not like you lose much other than the money, as I already said. No point in me going there to get that again, because there'll be nothing in those boxes up there. And you can also use it twice if you've already used it once. So if I've used it once here, I can use it again without having to have it wear off first. So it's not like you're going to be ever stuck for that long. So just something to keep in mind. And this section, actually, this is another sub-level. There's not really a whole lot to do, so I'm not going to be here for ages and ages. Obviously, if I kill the birds, I'll be getting gold and stuff, but I'd rather just get through the level, to be perfectly honest. I think that's the end there, actually. But we may as well get our stuff. And that, boys and girls, is pretty much this entire area already sorted. We could go into the Badlands now, but I'm not going to do that here or now. We're going to save that for the next recording session, boys and girls. Thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I will be back with more Shovel Knight soon. And I promise we won't be doing quite as much grinding from now on. I'll still do a little bit here and there, but, well, you've already seen stuff that you need to. So thank you very much for watching, and sayonara, everybody.